game with Hunter Stinson, but ULL is doing a great job defending him. So Thomas is having to step it up and kind of put the team on his back.
And the much-discussed face-off matchup that we've seen between Lane Farrar and Ashton Langlanay, it has been everything as advertised, and they've really gone at it. And there's LSU popping right out, quick pass. Nice save by the goalie. Yeah, that was really nice save and a good shot by Thomas Brown. And the rains, of course, have started again here in Olympia, and it's really coming down pretty steady at the moment, which, again, could make play interesting. UL comes out, and let's see if they heed the advice of their coach, and once they get it in the box, as they've just done, do they slow it down and really run their offensive set? Really, it's been hard to pick out trying exactly what they're attempting to do because they get into things so quickly that they're really never able to get the defense moving. They're just really jamming that crease in a hurry, or they're getting the ball to Ashton, number 22, Langlanay, and just letting him gun. If there's any good thing about the rain, it makes the LSU numbers easier to see from up here.
Yeah, I was having a little trouble earlier.
Yeah, we offensive player stepped in the crease behind X. That's really just a mental mistake there, but the turnover will give the ball to LSU. Nice grab out of the air there on the transition, and here we go. Let's see. Well, there's a quick shot.
What a rip.
Yeah, that was Patrick Messenger, and he was not messing around there. He went sidearm, tried to go to the low offside hip, just a little bit wide. And that was Stinson. He's determined to get on the board there, and again, he just probably needed one more step. He really didn't have much of an angle, which in that case is why that was what we call a mother goal. When that's an actual goal. The mother goal is when it hits the outside of the net. That's an actual goal that goes between the 6x6.
Patrick O'Mara right there. Precision is key for him. He's been around the game a long time. He's doing good work out there.
Yeah, and that gets us to 9-4 with 13:10 left in the third quarter. And look, this is a critical time. As you can see, the rain is really coming down here. This is a critical time for UL. I mean, look, 5 goals can be overcome in lacrosse, particularly with really all of 2 quarters left to go. But given UL's numbers, they have got to listen to their coach and really start settling things down and run their offensive sets. And that's the great start. You know, that face-off is the way to go. You got to have the ball. So UL still working their substitution pattern. But it looks like now they've got everybody on, and so let's see what they're trying to do here offensively.
Big open set, trying to spread out the defenders.
That was about as wide a 2-3-1 as you're ever going to see. I don't know that that's the shot that Coach White wanted there, because really it was he didn't change angles a whole lot. I mean, he basically shot offside to the thigh and knee, and really an easy save there for Patrick. For Rick Batista. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rick saw the ball all the way through. Great save by him.
LSU a little sloppy on the turnover, and so the Cajuns will try to clear the ball. They're going to get sloppy, and this is what happens in the rain. The balls just start skipping, and now we're going to get into tic-tac-toe on the turnovers.
Well, they got numbers.
And you can see what the rain did. As that ball got into the stick, you saw the water just pop off of his cross there.
Yeah, that's number 26, John Frey. They got back. Got a stick on the shooter and definitely caused some havoc.
You know, but for those who are regular lacrosse watchers on the other networks, you know, at least this is rain. I mean, we've been watching games all year played in snow where they've had to go to the orange balls. Temperatures down in the 20s. They're as LSU tries to work it into the crease. So while this is not fun weather to play in, at least it's not freezing.
Well, no, freshman year I actually went to school in New York and played lacrosse. The very first game there was a blizzard. Found out how much of a Southern boy I really am.
So it looks like we're going to have a flag here on UL-Lafayette. We're going to see LSU's extra man unit. And let's see if they put Stenson on the inside just to seal off that, since they're locking Hunter down, or do they let him go out to the wing as he normally does in their extra man sets.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter's going to be up top. Maybe he can get a quick shot off, boost his confidence a little bit.
I know this about Hunter: if he has anything resembling a shot, he will take it. And when you look, I mean, he really is a true sharpshooter, as we've talked about, with an MCL leading 35 goals on the season. Work it inside.
Oh, here we go. Oh, a shot off the pipe. Goalie got a little lucky there. Came out of the cage. The pipe's his best friend today.
All right, there you go. And he's off the schneid. And we're going to have a flag as well. But you see right there, one man's garbage, as they say, as the ball sneaks through. Hunter Stinson picks it up, and he lets one go low to low, beats the goalie, and he finally gets on the board, and LSU's up 10-4. And it looks like LSU's going to stay on man up. I don't think the way that was called, I'm looking for the officials, I don't think the goal waved that one off. And this is about as hard a rain as we've had all night. I mean, it is coming down in sheets. The wind's picked up here at Olympia. This is just rough. Now, the good news is there's no lightning in the area, at least none that we're seeing. But yeah, on the play there was that penalty. So LSU, it was dead ball. So LSU's going to be awarded possession, and they're going to remain on extra man for another minute. As Stinson brings it into the attack box, and then so they're going to work it off of that 1-4-1 set. As we talked about, closest to the ball after a shot, so LSU will retain possession, and they'll bring it in with John Patrick O'Mara.
Great movement. Good save by the goalie on the doorstep.
This is where that ball just really skipped down the field. But really, he had an open man, and but instead of making the safe play to the wing, he went for the sort of the Gilman clear and a quick turnover. And look, LSU doesn't have numbers, so I give the Cajuns credit for coming back, but they reversed the ball and get off a quick shot that goes wide to the right. Nice play by the defense. Ooh, ball in the crease. LSU tries to scoop him for the goal, and here comes Stinson.
You can tell that rain's warping the pocket, just the way that shot came off. Went right to the ground.
Behind the back. If there were any question about what LSU's trying to do on this extra man, I mean, it doesn't take a high lacrosse IQ. They are jamming that thing onto the creases. They're playing that two-man game inside. So now they're going to get the ball to Thomas Brown. He swings it back around as we come out of the extra man and we go into a 6-on-6 set. It is a kind of possession when you've had two man-up situations where, and you really have not been able to get any defensive players off. This is where you can really expose a defense because they have got to be tired out there. And here it comes right there, sloppy play and a goal.
There you go, goal by Josh Henderson.
Yeah, that's his second of the night. As we talked about, his converted midfielder.
There's some question there whether or not he stepped in the crease. But look, you see that the goalie had the ball in his possession, but that doesn't matter until he actually picks it up. The offender can sweep the ball underneath, which Josh did, picked it up and scored.
And just as quick and as hard as it was raining, it is really slacking off here as we have 8:22 remaining in now an 11-4 ball game. And it is critical now. I mean, UL has got to get possession, and they have got to start putting some points because this game is starting to get away from them. And it would start by being a little bit more disciplined and not making some of these penalties. It's allowing LSU and the man up. But Casey, what do you have?
JR, you hit it right on the head. Coach Cliff just turned around to his bench and told his team to settle down. Those clears coming back and forth in transition, going to nobody, really need to stop in UL's favor. The other thing is, I was wondering if you guys wanted to places. It's a little wet down here.
Well, we got it to stop for you, Casey, so just relax. I mean, it's just a nice we were just trying to cool you off a little bit. And just as you were talking about that, UL, again, makes another hero pass. Instead of making the safe thing and bump it back to X to get your personnel, I don't know that when you don't have numbers that you got to make a 45-yard cross-field pass, particularly when the sticks are as wet as they are. And you saw the turnover.
And then we have another turnover by ULL.
And now they have a player down. But in this case, it looks like he's going to be okay. But in this case, as long as they're not going to stop the play, particularly when it doesn't look like a serious injury.
Oh.
And a goal.
So we have a yard sale on the field, and then we get a goal by 44, popping it in for the Tigers, Rosser Baker, playing just his second game in midfield, and he picks up another tally to make it 12-4 with 7:20 to go in the third. And it's going to be make it take it as LSU wins the ball, and they're going to settle up, and they're going to get their – let's see how they go to yellow. And see, this is what – well, they're going to jam it in. And even there, you see, again, you've got a big 12-4 lead. You got a long stick. I guess to some degree you're in glory. But when you're making substitutions, I don't know that that's the time you want to do it. And now we're going to have a flag here on LSU. Looks like they're going to say LSU was offsides, although LSU is saying, I don't know what you're talking about. They're saying where they had three back. And again, as we talked about in the sport of lacrosse, you got to have three guys on the offensive side at all times and at least four guys on the defensive side, including the goalie at all times. So if the goalie does go over midfield, and you'll see that occasionally, you better have four players back.
Absolutely. That's something that I love to do. I like taking the ball myself, putting it over the midfield, but you always have to check that you have somebody staying back for you. See, what I think happened is they saw Hunter Stenson go over midfield, and he's been attacked all night, but they have Rosser in there. Maybe the refs got confused. I'm not too sure what happened.
Well, as it is, they are going to give UL-Lafayette the man up. This will be a 30-second. This is where they've actually been most dangerous tonight. They're 3 for 3 on the night. And this is the guy who's been doing the damage, number 22 up at the top. And there's a shot. Oh. There you go. He's going to – that's Ashton Langenay going to pick up his third of the night, and that gets us to 12-5.
He's going in the same spot every time on the goalie. Low, it looks like 5-hole.
Well, not only does he have a cannon, but on that field, you could really see that ball accelerate off the field. Not that he needs the extra, he doesn't need the extra MPHs.
No, he does not.
Yeah, 4 man-up goals, one's been even.
So the extra man really remains the best friend for the Raging Cajuns, as all but one of their goals have come in the EMO. And they're going to win the face.
Yeah, maybe that goal gave ULL some more confidence. I know it helps with Ashton at the face-off X. Let's see what they can do.
And there's just another case where, you know, you're just trying to force the ball through a double team, and that's going to lead to, you know, the ball being on the turf. The UL comes out, 5 pressing around. Nice match and stick on stick for the save.
Yeah, what a save by Rick Batista. Having the patience to meet stick to stick, swallowed the ball up.
Yeah, that might be a case where Peter Vickner, who already has a goal earlier tonight, that's one where you probably have more time than you realize, and that's where you got to fake high, go low, or, you know, do something to get the goalie to commit first. But that time, you know what, give Rick credit. I mean, he matched stick on stick and made a heck of a goal, and there you go. LSU counters right back, blitzing right through the middle.
You can see the frustration on the goalie, didn't have any of his defenders back. That's a hard thing to do when it's just one-on-one.
That's the one thing in the modern game. There's so much switching and changing going on. You see that actually more frequently than you did back when I was wobbling around the field in the 70s and 80s, because there was a lot more straight man. There's a lot more switching and changing now. And so you'll see guys get behind the defense more often than you would think, given the level of talent that's running around out there. I'll say Ashton's done a good job winning the straight draw, but LSU's wing play, and that's the one thing with the new face-off rules, it really makes it a much more athletic contest and brings the wing players in.
Oh, absolutely. You put a deep hole on one wing, one of your quicker guys on the other. It looks like we got a penalty.
Well, we're going to see if the hot streak for the UL-Lafayette extra man continues, as we've talked about earlier. 4 goals already off of this, only 1 in the 6-on-6 set. And with 5:17 to go, again, you get a goal here, you get within 13-6. You know, you still have a shot.
If I had a bet. Oh, yep.
Well, and the thing there was, I think he actually forced that, because he really didn't do a whole lot on the angle change there. And Rick really had a clear vision on that one.
Absolutely, and it looked like Ashton could have taken a couple more steps in, gotten a closer shot, but he went away. And
I think he thought we were playing basketball and there was a 3-pointer.
That would help him right now.
Well, and here you go, transition right back. Nice play. What a 2-man game. And you've got him caught on transition, and beautiful play by LSU.
Thomas Brown to Josh Henderson. Thomas Brown always looking for the extra pass. Great execution right there.
Yeah, and that'll be Henderson. So Henderson has a hat trick. Brown has a hat trick. And LSU extends the lead out now to 15-5. And this is a case where, I tell you what, for UL-Lafayette, when you got the short numbers, the game is starting to get away from you a little bit here. You know, one of two things. Either, you know, they're going to dig deep, but the other thing you got to worry about is, does the play, particularly when you got 2 rivals like this, does the play start getting a little chippy? So they win the face and draw back. When you look at, as they try to clear the ball here, almost the entire UL-Lafayette squad is from the state of Louisiana. They've got 2 players, one from Minnesota, and that's Nick Midbell, and he spends most of his time. He's been living in Baton Rouge for several years. They also have a player from Canada. But when you look at the high school breakouts, they got 6 players who played prepped at Brother Martin in New Orleans, 2 at Rummel, player from Jesuit, another from Lusher, 9 from the Lafayette area, 5 from St. Thomas More, which is the power of Acadiana, 1 from Lafayette High, and another from Catholic New Iberia. There are 2 players from Baton Rouge on the UL roster, 1 from Central, 1 from Catholic, and then a player from up in Shreveport at Loyola Prep. So that's, that is a homegrown team, which is what Coach White talked about in the opening. That was a nice save by Rick, hogging that pipe. But again, UL is going to go in the man up. Okay, Casey, what do you have?
Hey guys, JR, you just touched on it really well. The attention here from the players on the rosters, the Louisiana, the I-10 battles is really starting to pick up. The jawing going back and forth. Even guys that aren't from Louisiana, like a Nolan Meltzer here, coming to the box with that penalty. He's out of Florida, but he's taken to this rivalry really hard. He's really getting after each other.
Okay, and as UL's on the extra man, I mean, obviously somebody needs to find 22 because he is their offense tonight. And he's sitting at the top, but you can even see they're starting to shield him a little bit as they move number 41, Daniel Ryan, to sort of really shield to him. And they're even, see, normally you would think, you could see his instinct was to slide there, but he was hesitant to go to not let 22 get free.
Shot taken by Nick Midbow, number 1. Shot taken by 18 for ULL from Stagna.
Always keeping an eye on Ashton. Like you said, 41, Daniel Ryan. He's always knowing where he is. Keeps looking back at him.
Yeah, and they're actually trying to move him. They moved him off the point at this stage. And now I guess they're just going to they were going to dodge and dump. There's a skip to him. Nice pass to the low. Nice save. Nice save by Rick.
That was great defense by Podorski, number 1. Something that I always like to see is a short stick playing great defense. He didn't lunge. He broke down correctly and stayed his ground because you saw the fake, but Podorski stayed on him.
Okay, so LSU's killing time as they're here finishing off the man down situation. So they're just going to go to yellow until they get to 6-on-6. But now we're going to have flags here on the field. So we had offsetting penalties. We had a crease interference, and then we had a hold on UL-Lafayette. So I guess we'll go to the alternate possession, which right now is with LSU. We had talked earlier a few minutes ago about how so many players from the UL Lafayette squad were from Louisiana. LSU is a much more country, spread out from around the country. I mean, the vast majority of the players, 16 are from Louisiana, but there are 7 from Texas, 1 from the Washington, D.C. area, 2 from Massachusetts, 1 from Ohio, 2 from Georgia, 1 from Florida, 1 from Maine, and then 1 each from Kentucky, Maryland, New Jersey, and Virginia. So they're getting some players from the hotbed areas as we see another goal for LSU the same old way, crashing down on the crease.
Credited with the assist, Thomas Brown, 27, and pass to number 10, Josh Henderson.
Yeah, you have Thomas Brown assisting Josh Henderson again. Usually the connection is between Thomas Brown and Hunter Stinson, but tonight Josh Henderson stepping up in place of Hunter. They have a great connection going tonight.
And you really have to give Josh credit. I mean, he's been a midfielder almost the entire season. They moved him here because of some injuries, particularly to Campbell and Melson. Campbell may be back, and he's a left-handed player who's really talented. But he has really stepped up. And as you talked about, with them shutting down Stinson, for Josh Henderson to jump out there to 4 goals on the night, and Brown doing what he does best. He's got his hat trick, and he's also got at least 2 assists that I'm aware of at this point.
And that's not 5
and
yards.
And there's the flag. And so there you go. LSU's going to be man up. Good call. And that's that frustration thing that you talked about as this game is starting to get out of hand at 16-5 with 1:41 to go in the third. You're going to start to see those frustration plays, particularly since so many of these kids know each other.
Oh, absolutely. And not just in this game, not in just lacrosse, I think that's just the whole LSU-ULL rivalry as a whole. A couple of buddies of mine go to ULL, and they beat us in baseball not too long ago. Still haven't let that down.
Well, you can always point to those rings that Skip Burtman gets to wear on a regular basis from that. And so, you know, when you look at as LSU's here on the extra man, as they work it around, and look, they've got a guy actually open. Oh,
nice save.
Yeah, that was nice. And he went low to high there, which is what you really want your players to do. But as UL clears it, when you look, you know, LSU has 6 players from the Baton Rouge area, 3 from New Orleans, 4 from Lafayette, 2 from the North Shore, and 1 from the Shreveport area. 5 players from Dutchtown here in Baton Rouge, 1 from Catholic, and then down in New Orleans you got 2 from Jesuit, 1 from Brother Martin. And I think the big payday today is St. Thomas More, where there are 4 Tigers from that school, and as we had talked about, you know, there's quite a few also on the UL Lafayette team. So this is like a STM alumni game out here. That's one where the defender did a nice job lifting as he was making the pass and caused it to go awry. There's a pet peeve of mine, one-handed ground balls. And there's a flag right there. They're going to get Hunter with, really, it wasn't much contact. It just wasn't necessary. Hitting him in the back, and it looks to me that you're going to see UL go up on the extra man.
Yeah, that was just unnecessary by Stinson, and with a lead like this, the refs are definitely going to pull the flag a little faster, try to give ULL some help.
And you can see Hunter and Kyle Manning jawing as they go off the field. And so, you know, we'll keep an eye on that. And really, it wasn't that bad of a hit. I mean, really, he just sort of ran up his back a little bit. But as you talked about, in a game like this, the score is getting away. And I think they hear all the jawing going on the field, and they're just going to clamp it down. So with 17 seconds left, the question will be, do they go ready to attack, or are they going to hold it for the to keep possession? Well, that answered that question, because he just fired it within the first day. Forget getting the defense to move.
And Stagnant. Batista with the save.
So they work it around, and look, they're just going to hold it, so they're going to take the face-off. And so we've reached the end of the third quarter with LSU up 16-5. You're watching LSU Lacrosse, presented by Bassett Furniture on Pelican Sports TV.
The Mitchells want to transform this barely used bonus room into an entertainment room.
Great room. How do you guys want to use it?
We'd like a place we could all hang out.
Definitely.
For this makeover, I'll mix casual colors and fabrics. It's easy to create a functional and fun space with the HGTV Home Design Studio at Bassett.
We've got this U-shaped sectional.
These fabrics are great.
I love the pops of color.
It used to be a storage room.
And now it's a family room. We love it.
It's a comfortable place to hang out.
Are you ready for your big reveal? The HGTV Home Design Studio, only at Bassett.
Pelican Sports TV presents Tigers Roar, a live look at LSU football. Join Tommy Krysan and Chris Landry every Wednesday night for Tigers Roar, live on Pelican Sports TV in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans, and PelicanSportsTV.com.
Well, the rains have gone away, but the scoring torrent of LSU continues as they take a 16-5 lead into the fourth quarter. It's been a game of just the waves of LSU as they have really pounded the ball inside. And it's been the Thomas Brown and Josh Henderson show. They've accounted for 7 of LSU's 16 goals. And for UL, it's been basically they get something on extra man or they get nothing. They've only got 1 goal in a 6-on-6 set.
Yeah, it looks like Ashton's trying to do everything for ULL, and I think that's what they're asking of him. But LSU is really doing a team game, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you can be sure to keep up with LSU Lacrosse on Facebook and Twitter Be sure to check them out. Follow the LSU Tiger lacrosse team so you can keep up as LSU tries to make it to the path for the MCLA championship. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the fourth quarter unrolls. But there you see on your screen how to find LSU Lax on social media. Check it out. It's something that's run by the players, so it's not a bunch of like PR wonks. I mean, it is the players, and there's some interesting things on the Facebook and Twitter feed.
That Twitter feed's actually pretty funny. I know Kent Lebrano's running that. Every time they score a goal, he's got something witty to say.
Okay, so for those who are new to the game, what happened, there is no face-off because UL was on the man up and had possession of the ball when the quarter ended, so they're going to start off. And there you
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by number 42, Manny Duhan from St. Thomas More. And there's a case where he went sidearm, but you could see that ball really, instead of a skip, that one actually had a little bit of hop to it, and that seemed to full rip. But the blessings of the extra man continue to pay dividends as we're now at 16-6 here early in the fourth quarter. We had talked early in the game, LSU, this is just their second LSA conference or game of the year. The way LSU scheduled it, they backloaded all of their conference games. Some other teams within the division got theirs sort of out of the way earlier on in the season, so that's why there's some discrepancy when you look at some of the records. For example, UL-Lafayette's already played third. This is their fourth. They only have one game left in conference against Texas State coming up. But for LSU, everything's in front of them at this point. Their one conference win was a good one over Texas A&M to open the season. But as you see, I mean, they're coming down into it. Next weekend's going to be huge. They hit the road at Texas San Antonio. That's a Division II MCLA team. Coach Eccles is friends with their coach, and that'll be a good contest. But the big ones there are Texas State and Houston on Saturday and Sunday. If LSU holds on and wins tonight and wins both of those games next weekend, not only will they be assured of making the playoffs, but that will lock up a home field game in the first round of the playoffs. Casey, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, Rick Batista just came off. They've gone to their backup goalie, Tom O'Brien, new kid out of Georgia that joined the team here midway through the season. You guys touched on it a little bit earlier. He actually found out about the team through one of the Facebook posts and then a subsequent article in the LSU Reveille. So LSU doing a really good job getting their program known, getting notes out there, and guys are joining the program. But Rick is done for the day as he looks to dry off.
Well, when he had a nice afternoon or evening, and here you go. LSU jumps on the scoreboard again out of the 6-on-6. You see the drive around, the kick to the side, and that's really nice body control.
I keep telling them.
But what you'll see all along, again, LSU has lived by this all night. They are attacking from X. They're hitting that reverse pass to the cutter coming down the slot, and it has just been there all night. And that's simply a case of UL defenders ball watching, and then the athleticism of LSU's midfielders and attackmen who are coming in from the backside.
Even though ULL won that face-off right there, I've been very impressed by Lane Farrar at the face-off X, doing a great job tonight. Yeah,
I mean, look, Ashton was a kid who was working with the national team. He's so good at face-offs, and when you're coming in at 70%, that's unheard of. But by the same token, I mean, you sit there and you look at Lane. I mean, he's winning 65% coming in tonight. I mean, you're seeing two of the best face-off men in MCLA. So, if anybody has an opportunity to work with either one of these kids, if you're a youth player or a high school player, you should take advantage of it because you're not going to see face-off guys like this in South Louisiana all that often.
No, and to go off of that, I know that last year Ashton got the best of Lane, and I know he wasn't too happy about it. Next day came to practice, went to work. He's been practicing for this game ever since last year.
So UL trying to see if they can do something out of the 6-on-6 set. Nice job. As you see, as Casey told us, they now have Thomas O'Brien in. Thomas coming into tonight, a freshman who has some good prep credentials, but he's been into 3 games tonight this season, saving about 46%. Has given up, had made 5 saves, given up 6 goals coming into tonight in limited action. But I know, talking to Coach Eccles at practice earlier this week, they're really high on Casey for the future. I'm sorry, on Thomas for the future.
Timeout, LSU.
It looks like LSU going to take a timeout, try to settle things down a little bit. Game's getting sloppy, so with 12:42 to go, LSU 17, UL-Lafayette 6. You're watching LSU Lacrosse, presented by Bassett Furniture on Pelican Sports TV.
Why would I go with boring when Bassett gives me great colorful options, all customized to match my style? There's nothing boring about Bassett.
Pelican Sports TV presents Tigers Roar, a live look at LSU football. Join Tommy Chrysan and Chris Landry every Wednesday night for Tigers Roar, live on Pelican Sports TV in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans, and PelicanSportsTV.com.
Welcome back to Olympia Stadium. Casey, what do you have for us?
Guys, coming out of this timeout here in the 4th, the entire coaching staff for LSU is very much focusing on making sure the players are playing smart, playing with their heads. They've got 12 and a half minutes to go with this 10-goal lead. It is actually 16-6, and they want to protect as many players from injury going into next weekend with that triple header coming up. So you're going to see a lot of soft, easy play from the LSU offense to make sure we take care of the ball, kill the clock, and get out of here safely with no injuries.
Well, thank you, Casey. And they do have the scoreboard corrected. We are at 16-6 with 12:42 to go. And as you had mentioned, I mean, next weekend is huge. Again, after a Friday night game in San Antonio against Texas San Antonio, on Saturday at 1 o'clock, they're at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. And that's a team that LSU has never beaten. That's, in the world of football and basketball, you don't really think you hear of Texas State University too much. But that's a program that LSU has yet to defeat. So they're going to have that opportunity. And then on Sunday, March 29th, they will play at Houston, the University of Houston, as we had mentioned. Nice save there, by the way, by Thomas O'Brien. But if they win both of those conference games, that will guarantee them a spot in the playoffs and at least a home field game. What it will also set up is that Friday, April 3rd, at LSU, on the UREC Fields on the LSU campus, LSU against the University of Texas. That'll be 7 o'clock Friday, April 3rd. Texas, if you look them up and look at their records, look, they go play a lot of big boys and out of conference. So their record doesn't wow you. But when you look at them in conference, they are the perennial conference power in the LSA, certainly the LSA South. And so that game, depending on what goes on next weekend, could determine who's the winner of the LSA South.
Yeah, like you mentioned, UT Texas has been very good for a long time. Usually in conference, it's Texas and Texas State. But both of those teams have suffered some losses due to graduation. So this year, LSU comes in strong. I know last year, both of those games were losses. And like you mentioned, that LSU has never beaten Texas State, lost by 1, frustrating. But both of those schools lost a lot of players, a lot of great players to graduation, so maybe the tides are changing.
And UL is going to go on the extra man here. And I will say,